We love a good redemption arc, don't we? The prodigal analyst returns, or does she? Today, we're dissecting the curious case of Sheryl Swoopes' very public about-face on Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Is it a genuine conversion or a strategic repositioning? We'll pull back the layers, explore the history, the ego, the shifting landscape of women's basketball, and ask the uncomfortable questions others are afraid to touch. Buckle up, because this goes way beyond a simple apology or lack thereof. You know how even the harshest critics have to give credit where it's due? That's where we find ourselves today. Sheryl Swoopes, a name synonymous with WNBA excellence, has seemingly switched gears on Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. But before we uncork the champagne, let's rewind and remember why this change of heart is so unexpected. For the uninitiated, Swoopes wasn't exactly on the Caitlin Clark fan club's membership list. In fact, she was more like the president of the Skeptical Society, questioning Clark's scoring records, predicting WNBA doom, and even hinting at locker room discord. Strong words from a legend, but now, it's all sunshine and rainbows, so what gives? Let's dive into the specifics, the history, and the underlying power dynamics at play here. The original video highlights Swoopes' comments, but let's add context. Swoopes' initial skepticism wasn't just about Clark's raw talent. It touched on the thorny issue of legacy and the perceived easy road to records in modern college basketball. She raised eyebrows questioning the validity of Clark's NCAA scoring achievement, stating that if Kelsey Plum set that record in for years, Clark should have broken it in the same amount of time, conveniently ignoring the COVID year. Now, let's be honest, there's always been a generational tension in sports. The veterans who paved the way versus the new phantoms rewriting the rules. But Swoopes' criticism felt pointed. It tapped into a deeper anxiety about changing standards, about the perceived dilution of achievements in an era of increased media attention and rule changes. I remember covering women's basketball back in the late 90s. Dawn Staley was the queen, and the game was brutal, less finesse, more physicality. The idea of a player launching shots from the logo, unthinkable. The training regimens, the media coverage, the opportunities, everything was different. So when a player like Clark comes along, shattering records and capturing the nation's attention with a vastly different style of play, it's bound to ruffle some feathers. The key here isn't whether Swoopes was right or wrong, it's about understanding the context and the potential motivations behind her statements. Was it pure, unbiased analysis, or were there other factors at play, like a desire to protect the legacy of previous generations, or perhaps even a touch of envy? The original video mentions the fractured friendship between Nancy Lieberman and Swoopes. But it's more than just a personal squabble. Lieberman, a true icon of the game, publicly challenged Swoopes' assertions, highlighting the importance of factual accuracy and respect for the accomplishments of younger players. It was a line in the sand, and Lieberman wasn't the only one. Cheryl Miller, another legend, went even further, calling Swoopes out directly on the All the Smoke podcast. Strong words, publicly delivered. This wasn't just about defending Clark. It was about defending the integrity of the game and calling out what Miller perceived as blatant disrespect. The significance of this pushback cannot be overstated. These weren't just random commentators offering opinions. They were legends putting their reputations on the line to defend a rising star. It highlights the power of legacy, the responsibility of mentors, and the importance of speaking truth to power, even when it's uncomfortable. I've seen this happen countless times in sports and beyond. The older generation, struggling to stay relevant in a rapidly changing landscape. The pressure to remain in the spotlight can lead to questionable decisions, to put it mildly. Sometimes controversy sells, and sometimes the loudest voices are the ones trying to hold on to their fading influence. And now, the piece de resistance, the about face. Swoopes, after a year of relentless criticism, suddenly praises Clark and the Fever, calling them potential championship contenders. The timing is impeccable, right after Clark silences many doubters and the Fever make key acquisitions. So what sparked this dramatic shift? The original video suggests several possibilities, and I think they all hold some weight. Pressure from network executives is a likely factor. No one wants to be associated with negativity, especially when it's directed at the league's biggest draw. A genuine realization that she was wrong is possible, though the lack of an apology makes it seem less likely. And then there's the simple need to stay relevant. Praising Clark is a much safer bet now than continuing to criticize her. But let's play devil's advocate for a moment. Is it possible that Swoopes genuinely changed her mind after seeing Clark's growth and the Fever's improvements? People can evolve, opinions can change. However, the way she seemingly erased the past without acknowledging her previous statements raises serious questions about the sincerity of her conversio. Regardless of Swoopes' motivations, let's focus on the actual basketball. The Fever did make significant moves in the offseason, acquiring veterans like Dannon Bonner and Natasha Howard to complement Clark and Aliyah Boston. They are a team on the rise, no question about it. But are they championship contenders? That remains to be seen. The key to the Fever's success will be how quickly they can integrate these new pieces and how well Clark and Boston can continue to develop. They have the potential to be a dominant force in the WNBA for years to come, but potential doesn't guarantee championships. They will face tough competition from the Aces, Liberty, and Sun. It's going to be a battle. Ultimately, the Swoopes-Clark saga is about more than just one player or one analyst. It's about the evolving landscape of women's basketball, about the challenges of reconciling tradition with innovation, and about the responsibility of those who hold influence to use their platforms wisely. I remember talking to Lisa Leslie a few years ago about the importance of mentorship in the WNBA. She emphasized the need for veterans to support and encourage younger players, to help them navigate the challenges of professional basketball and to build a strong and sustainable league for the future. That's the kind of leadership that truly matters. So, what's the final verdict on Swoopes' about face? Is it a genuine conversion or a calculated move? Honestly, it's probably a bit of both. But regardless of her motivations, the real story here is the growth of women's basketball, the emergence of a new generation of stars, and the passion of the fans who are finally giving the game the attention it deserves. Let's hope that, moving forward, we can focus less on the drama and more on the incredible talent and dedication of these athletes. Let's celebrate their accomplishments, support their growth, and build a future where respect and sportsmanship are valued above all else. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you never miss out. Click the video on the screen. See you.